Are we all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So good afternoon, members of the press. Please make sure your phone is off. If your phone rings, I'll cancel the whole press briefing. So I want people's phones to behave. Are we ready? Okay, good afternoon. I wanted to brief you and through you the country on various issues under our ministry. I'll start with the issue of the Mumbwa accident where we lost lives. First and foremost, I want to pass my condolences to the families that lost their loved ones at a certain mine in Mumbwa. I want to say that immediately a team from the ministry was sent to the site to go and check exactly who owns that tenement. And I want to emphasize this point to you that according to the law, anyone owning a mining license has the responsibility to protect that tenement from illegal mining, from anyone that could, barge into that mine. Also the responsibility to protect the workers that are found at that particular mine. So our investigations are going on to establish actually who owns that license. And I'm sure by tomorrow we'll be able to know, and the law will take its course. Like I have said, we are not going to allow misbehavior by license holders. It is against the law, and the law will deal with anyone found wanting under the circumstances. This government, even losing one life, is one life too many. It is not something that gives us pleasure. It's unacceptable, and we are saying that the law will take its course. That is not only for Mumbwa and every other area where people are holding licenses and don't want to work them out properly. We are going to deal with the issues decisively, because we have a program which I'll explain as I unveil the issues that I want to address with you. So the Mumbwa issue, we are on it, and we will inform the nation of the next course of action, so that this should serve as an example to would-be perpetrators and those that would want not to obey the law in terms of how they conduct mining activities in their tenements. So we will give you the next course of action, and definitely I want to assure you, and through you the nation, that we will act decisively on this so that we can curb the loss of lives that are happening across some of the tenements. I want also to talk a little bit about the issue that has been running starting yesterday and today. As you realize, the Ministry of Mines is not an investigative wing. The Ministry of Mines is in charge of mining activities, minerals development. That is our charge. So when we hear an activity where something that concerns us is mentioned, such as gold, of course we raise our eyebrows and we begin to want to understand what is going on. Fortunately enough, when the story broke out that there is some gold somewhere that has been found, our ministry was contacted immediately by the Drug Enforcement Commission and other security wings, and we had a team from Geological Survey Department which was urgently constituted, consisting of the chief geologist, a senior metallurgist, a senior chemist, and a gemologist, and were dispatched to the Lusaka International Airport around 16 hours yesterday. When the team arrived out at the airport, they were there up to about 15 hours. When they reached there were basically 4 plastic boxes that contained the alleged gold. After analyzing the bars, and a comprehensive analysis was actually done in our labs, and what they found in terms of content was that those bars contained copper in the range of 58 to 61%, and zinc in the range of, I think, 38 to 41%, and trace amounts of tin were also found, osmium and nickel, each of which were less than 0.8%. The total number of those pieces that were contained in the 4 boxes were 602, with a mass of 127.28 kgs. So a report was done. So I've told you the content. Naturally, you are going to conclude that the content is not what has been reported. The content is what has been analyzed in those bars. So as a ministry, our role ends there to just ascertain the content of what was found. A report has been done, sent to Drug Enforcement Commission, who are doing the investigations. Our role ends there. Now, I want to urge our people, especially politicians, and this is why certain people are not fit to be leaders. Because when you are a leader, when you hear something, don't rush to the media to go and open your mouth and just begin to talk anyhow. What a leader does, and what a person who is worth to be a leader should do, is to get the facts first. Before you say anything, get your facts. Because if you are Kalaba, you want to be president of a country, or Fred Membe, you want to be president of a country, or Kampiongo, or whoever in PF, when you hear something, as a leader, make sure you analyze, because you are going to make a decision that will put your own country on fire. Yet you realize that actually, what you are talking about is not what it is. So you don't rush quickly to begin to condemn here and there. For me, the first thing I would do as a responsible leader and responsible Zambian is first and foremost to thank the government and the security wings for being alert for what they have done. To thank the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, because it is a government that is strong, that has been able to unearth such an issue. So that's what you do as a leader. But if a leader, you hear that there is a lion there, without even proving that there is a lion, you rush to the whole community and say there is a lion. People will scamper in all directions. People will end up dying, yet there was no lion. Have you seen Zambians, the people that are trying to aspire to be your leaders? Leadership entails ngawaumfwe chintu chafi na leader. First ikala tondolo. Wait. Digest it. Know what it is. Then go to the media and speak. Now, who has looked foolish here? I'm just trying to be frank. Because as a leader, learn to get all your facts. In fact, there are intelligent ways of getting facts before you even begin to speak, so that you are known that me, I speak the loudest. No. That is why this government, when we heard these things, we didn't go to the media to immediately start talking anyhow. We had to get facts. because we are focused. We are a focused leadership. We are a leadership that knows what it's doing. So things come to us, we hear them, first we digest, get the facts, get the truth, then we come to you. Like I've come to you on the mining side. This is the content of what is purported to be God, when in fact not. So that is how leadership is supposed to be, conducted. I heard people in the morning, people have even created stories of who voted with what. It's so unacceptable. And that is why some of you are never going to be leaders of this country. You can't rule with that kind of mentality and approach. A leader, afido kwatomuteka tima, because kuti waoche chalo waipaya na abantu. Umulando wako ibati, ulefu omonekera tulalanda sana. Yet, whatever you are saying is empty, empty words that you are giving to the country. So I thought I needed to address that, and I want to tell you some of the things that we are doing, because we hear a lot of insinuations and people talking anyhow. Because we are a methodical and organized government, right now as we are talking to you, we have geologists in various areas doing preliminary works. We know that there are gold occurrences and happenings all over. But for us to get real value and benefit, we have to do the right thing. What is the right thing? You need to map these areas where you are suspecting to have gold. You also need to drill, to explore, to know this is the extent of mineralization. As we are talking to you, I think I've announced this several times. We have geologists in Chibombo, in Chisamba, in Lumezi, in Mumba districts, and other areas who are actually now mapping those areas and making sure that we know how the gold is sitting and where it is. I've also announced to you that we are giving artisanal miners artisanal licenses to local people, to Zambians, to cooperatives. As we are talking right now, our teams are busy going out there. Cooperatives, tenements are identified. We are procuring equipment for them. We have to do it in a structured way. You can't just be mining like Mleimba or Lefyumbo or something. You have to be structured. You have to be proper. Again, those people that are mining must be in our profile. They must be in the system. They must be in the records. We must know where the gold is taking place, whether the gold mining is taking place. All those things we have to know. Meaning, we have to have a structured system. But putting up a system, it's not going to take one day. Yes, the complaint is that yes, people could be mining illegally, but their days are numbered, that I can tell you. And I want to announce to you, the other day I talked about the Minerals Commission having gone to Cabinet. Yesterday, Cabinet approved the Minerals Commission, which is going to be a regulator. We need to have regulation. This country has been sitting without regulation for quite a long time. We have bureaus dotted around the country which have no capacity actually to carry out regulation or checks. So the commission has been approved quickly to be now a bill taken to Parliament, into law, and we begin to implement. The commission will be in place, spread across the country, structures being put in place. You can see how we are moving, that it is when you are structured, it is when you are properly, organized. That's when you can see benefit. It is not just taking a hoy today, I'm going to dig. No, you do it in a structured manner. The artisanal miners we are talking about, the ministry is busy arranging equipment for them. That is how you do things. So areas, for example, like in Pika, which was recently discovered, Senga Hill, Rufunsa, Vubwi, and Lusangazi are also earmarked for our geologists to go there. So when you look at these issues, of course they require resources. So that's why we are doing it this side. After they finish, they move this way until we are structured properly. That is how you do things. Teku imafia walalanda ukapantu ulefo kuba president bamunatu lalanda sana. our way is to do things correctly. It is not to create lies. And some of you want to be president of a country and you call yourself a patriot. You were quoted as having supporting, unconventional ways of taking over government. What sort of thinking is that? If we chalo chesu twalishiba mutende. So imweba membe mwituletela ma problems nefyongo mchalo. Us, we are a peaceful nation. We have enjoyed our peace. Some of you, the way you talk, you can even see that if this person was given power, so basically that is what we are doing around the gold sector. So I want Zambians to be a little more patient on this sector because we are really organizing and reorganizing it to make sure that it answers to the current trends in terms of benefits to our economy and the creation of employment to our people in a structured manner. We don't want the confusion that was in Northwestern Province. We don't want the confusion that we inherited. We want that confusion to finish and have an organized way of doing things. I also want to talk about another item which is very noisy, Sujilite. Our ministry, 2 days ago, I think I've been promising you that we will go and do mapping and do exploration. So our ministry has sent a team to Luapula Province. The geologists are already there. They have not yet started mapping or exploration. They have gone to meet, first and foremost, they'll meet all the stakeholders. Now, who are the stakeholders? Number one, their Royal Highnesses in the areas where there are occurrences of Sujilite. Number two, security wings. I was on a phone call today with my colleague, the Minister of Home Affairs, so that we work together in terms of making sure there is security there. Other security wings in the province, our teams have engaged because Sujilite is such a sensitive matter. We are cognizant of the fact that there are all sorts of suspicions around it. And as such, we have put a multi-sectoral team that involved geologists, security wing, the Zambia Intelligence Services, and everyone, so that this is done in a transparent manner, free of corruption. So, after the engagement with the chiefs and sensitization of the communities around the area, then the team will move in, map the area, drill, and make sure that they also understand the extent of mineralization. That is critical in mining. You need to know what you are sitting on. You can't just say, let's start digging. No. We want to do it in a structured manner, properly done, so that when now the mining begins, it begins in a way that will benefit the economy. It doesn't support people that want to just be unscrupulous and steal from us. So people are all over in Luapula Province. Meetings are taking place. They'll move on site maybe the next 2-3 days after sensitizations and teams are put in place in terms of the security wing, and then we move to map and explore and understand how much mineralization is there in terms of Sujilite. That is also happening to lithium in the southern province. We are also doing that. So basically, as a country, for me and for us as New Dawn government, we believe that we are on the right path to resuscitate the economy, to sanitize the mining sector, to make it more beneficial to you, our people. Thank you very much. So I'll allow questions. So I'll be allowed, please tell me your name and where you're coming from. 3 questions at a go. Yes. Yes.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much for the insightful information that you have given to us. Maybe there's been a lot of speculation today coming from some politicians who are claiming that the copper or the zinc that was found at the airport is being stolen from Zambians. And most of them, even on radio today, were saying that is being mined in Zambia. So maybe basically, I know you have said there is an investigation, but maybe what I would like to find out is that are those minerals coming from Zambia or coming from other countries? Maybe there was just a transit because we have copper in Congo. So maybe Zambians would like to find out are those minerals coming from Zambia or from other countries?
Next question. Okay.
Next, my name is Christian. I write for Reuters. Where are the metal cars?
Yes, next.
Manga, I write for Zambia 24. You indicated that what people suspected to be gold was actually zinc, particles of zinc, then nickel, and particles of copper. My question is, were those coated in...
What's your name again?
Manga, Francis.
Okay.
Yeah. Were those particles coated in gold lining, or they just suspected that to be gold? What do you think would have been the motive for giving that speculation?
Mr. Maingaila, I'll start with you. I think all of us have seen the pictures of how those things are looking, isn't it? On face value, you would think that it is gold. Those of us that are in the mining sector, or those of us that have dealt with minerals, sometimes one will bring to you a green stone, you would think this is emerald. So when they bring it to you, take it to the lab. Or even copper. Somebody could come to you, they lie to you, this is copper. What you need to do as a human being or a businessman or whoever you are, take that thing to the lab. Have its mineral content checked. Even here in Zambia, do you know that before you export, they take, ZRA does check the mineral content of anything. They don't just look at it and say, yes, this is it. Because anything can be coated with anything. Because if you know, for example, that amethyst is purple, you can get any stone, color it purple. If you take it to somebody, they will think this is amethyst, but you need to do the testing. That is what is critical. Then the test must show you, this is the report, this is gold. Or this is the report, this is emerald. That's how things work. Then Mr. Nkomesha, either from Zambia or from other countries, all I know that plane landed from somewhere, I don't know. The investigative wings are going to give us where those things came from. Our job is to tell you this is the mineral content of anything. As to where they came from, they'll feed back to us, because what we have done is to feed them back the mineral content. Now, why I had to explain this mineral content? Because there's been so much speculation and lying. So we needed to give you the scientific explanation of the content of what we saw. Mr. Ufula, you are not listening to my press briefing, because I think your question was clearly tackled. It's not in our hands. It's in the hands of the investigative wings. It can't be with the Ministry of Mines. Our job ended at making sure we ascertain the content. Beyond that, we are done. Of course, the drug enforcement and other investigative wings are going to give their statement fully. Who is involved, where these things came from, all that will be given. It's not in our domain as a ministry at this particular time.
Another set.
Same.
Bear in mind that there is no other briefing after.
Yes.